Hi, it's a sunny afternoon with beautiful skies, as you can see. So I'm currently next to where we have a car wash. We had some additional plot over here, which we had fenced recently, and I think in one of those videos that I made about the fence, we were still contemplating or looking at what to do with these additional plots that we have in here. I think I mentioned we wanted to do what that was a real estate, yeah, but rethinking it, looking at the cost and all the things, the effort and everything that was going to go into it, we decided to rethink our decision and then look at other options as well. So, as part of those options, the block factory still presented itself. Challenge is still with power, and solar is not going to be a feasible option for that. So, that is going to slide. Aside that, also we've had an option such as a recreational facility, and then a hotel, guest house, among others. Now, looking at all these options, I have been looking at something that is not going to require so much time, so much funds, so much effort to also run. Yes. And as part of the options available, we decided to settle on an event center, just using a portion of it for an event center for the time being, see how that is going to go, and that eventually is going to influence what next we'll need to do. Now, I must say that the reason looking at the event center is because looking around, Adeso, Danso, close by towns hasn't really got an event center. Yes, and this place is a place that usually would host events, sometimes funerals, weddings, and so on. Yeah, and they usually would use the football park. So I decided, okay, if we are able to present an option, an event center option, which is sort of like a one-stop shop for all, not just the place, but also having access to rent some of the things that you need to canopies, chairs, the sound system, generator, backup generator, even screens, among others. I'm sure it's going to be a good option. So then, okay, we decided to roll out with that. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you some of the things that we've done with regard to the event center. So this is going to be an outdoor event center. It's not going to be an indoor event center. So let's just go ahead and then have a look around. So what we actually decided to do was to use the front part of the land for an outdoor event space. So as part of that, we needed to sort of create a boundary between the front part as well as the back part. Currently, we have some farm. We have a maize farm at the back part, and we are having some construction works at the front part. So if you look closely, notice that maybe from the aerial shot, you see that proper where the car wash wall or fence ends. That is where we've decided to create a boundary. So there's quite a number of things going on. One of the things you see is the space we intend to have as an outdoor event space where you're able to, pitch your canopies, arrange your seats, create a stage, among others. Is this particular point where we are deciding to have like a lawn here. So the grass has been grown. We are still, taking care of it to make sure it grows properly. So this space becomes green. And aside that, also the boundary wall. I'm sure you may be wondering or asking, what is that? Yes, it's rocks. However, this is known as a gabion wall. And you may ask why we decided to settle with this kind of fence. There are quite a number of reasons why I decided to settle with this kind of fence serving as a boundary. There's reasons because we haven't fully decided on what we intend to do with all the plots we have over here. So then this gives us an option to create a fence that is separating this particular section from where we are going to be having like a farm or a garden. And aside that, also looking at an option where if you have to take it off, it's easier for you to take it off, because basically with this gabion wall, let me just get close to it. It's just having a mesh and then arranging rocks in it. Of course, you're not just arranging the rocks, but you're arranging them in a certain pattern to have, a nice outlook. So that is what we've done. And we've created a boundary from that point. That is a car wash fence all the way through to this point. And we are continuing from this point all the way through to that point. So then when you are coming from the main entrance, if you are facing the land, your right section is going to be the lawn where you have the lawn. We have some side walkways here. We've done the sidewalks for the walkway, and then we are yet to finish it up. So what we intend to also do with this is to spread in DPM and then spread in chip-ins, and then have some slabs which is going to serve as sections you could walk on all the way through to any part of this particular place. So we have the grass which is still growing. We have some sprinklers planted in there where we are able to turn on the pump and then have water on the grass. So we have quite a number of things to do to have this. The idea or the plan is, if possible, try to finish up with the lawn. Hopefully the grass grows quickly so that maybe we are able to have this place a bit functional, especially during the festive season, which is Christmas. We are currently in November. Today is on the 9th of November, and that is basically the plan, what we've been looking at. Now, as part of the things we've done is also to create or have like a design for the fence, so both inside and the outside. The inside hasn't really got so much to it, just the columns where we decide to do some small design to it. However, the front part has got something more to it. So let me just step out and show you what the front fence looks like. So this is what the front fence looks like. Yeah, and the whole idea is the section we have as a square part, have some stone cladding in there, and then have some wall lights there. Then the section that's the blank wall, we intend to have some palms planted there, and then maybe grow some flowers and the rest. So there's quite a number of things that we are left to do to make this functional. So this is the main entrance. You have the right point as the entrance, and then the left point as the exit. We have the gates. The gates are back there where the container is, which we had to take it off because of the trucks that were bringing in materials in there. So we ordered for some rocks or smaller size. So those are boulders over the small size boulders. It was supposed to be same. However, the first truck that came had a smaller parts as part of it. So we decided to use that to fill this portion. Yeah, so this whole space is eventually going to serve as a car park. Now, as it stays now, we are looking at a very cheap option for the car park. Yeah, so that we don't have to spend so much, because, money is a little bit hard to come by these days. So we are looking at a very minimum, setup to start off with, and then eventually with time, if, everything goes well, then we are able to improve upon the place. So this is one of the things that we decided to start off with, an event center, an outdoor event center. However, having an option for you to be able to rent the canopies, the chairs, the tables, deep freezers, among others. Now, also as part of the car park, we have a section here which we are currently going to have washrooms, done. Total 4 washrooms, 2 for male, 2 for females as well. So that's currently under construction over there. And then this whole area is going to serve as a car park. Now, aside that, also for this side of the fence, we are looking at planting some creeping plants, which is going to creep on the walls to make it green. The gabion wall is going to be there. Then there's going to be a gate, sort of a temporary gate over there. So when you enter the space, you're only restricted or limited to this whole space or this whole area. You don't have access to get into the parts over there. So far, that's what we've been doing. Now, we have a shipping container. There was a need to have a shipping container, and the purpose of that is to be able to house some of these things I'm talking about. That is the canopies, the chairs, the tables, and the rest. So we'll create, sort of like shelves in there to be able to have those things stored in there. So that's a 40-footer container. It's been roofed. We are not going to do so much in there. There's no need to line it, but we are going to be creating a section of it where it might serve as like a small office to have the solar. So we intend to have like a mini solar system for it to be able to power some of the lights. Then we also intend to have like a backup or a standby generator, where if you have an event, you have the option to rent that as well, purchase fuel into it, and then be able to use it for your event. So this is what we've been doing some time now. We've been working on this, I think, about 3 to 4 weeks now. So far so good. It's been okay. Then also you notice that when we were working on the car wash, we did this metal fence over there, or the metal bars in the fence. And what we intend to do with that is not to leave it as it is. However, we intend to close it up with bamboos. So we're going to be placing bamboos in between the spaces, going to go all the way up. Now, the whole idea or the point is create some form of privacy for whoever is going to be hosting their event here. You don't want people standing by, they're peeping through the metal bars, wondering or seeing whatever is going on. You want to create or have like a private space where people are able to host their events. Now, the space that we have here, so this whole area is a total of 100 square feet, and we've divided it into two: one section to the left, one section to the right, and then we have a walkway in here which is 5 feet. So you have like about 45 feet to the left side and then 45 feet also to the right. So far this is what we've been doing. I'll be glad to hear your thoughts, your ideas, especially with regard to the car park, what we can do. Maybe you can also share with me some options, what you've done. I might want to know that, so at least we have an option, a very cheap option to start off with, and then eventually maybe improve it. Now, the whole point with the event center, as I mentioned earlier, there isn't really any event spaces around where we are currently. So this will be an opportunity to see how the market is going to fare. Aside from that also, maybe this might be the beginning of something great that is yet to happen. I must say the car wash has been doing very well. It's been 1 year already. We opened this place on the 2nd of November, and we've been running it for 1 year. And so far the 1 year has been good. And I must say, throughout the 1 year period, 365 days, there hasn't been a single day we've not operated. So that is actually good. Having a business, keeping it running for like a whole year. It's been good. So I must, commend the guys. We've had challenges, retaining some workers, but there are some that have been very consistent. They've been with it from the very beginning through to this point. So they have been helping, to get things running now and then and now. So this is what we've been doing. You can't have land and just keep it bare, leave it like that without not figuring what to do with it. Well, if you intend to sell it, that is fine. However, if that's not a plan and you really want to make something out of it, you might have to be thinking about options or things you can do with it. So this is what we've been doing. We still have a bigger portion of the land left. So if this event space is going to work, then you might think about having places where people can lodge. So then you're looking at having either a guest house or either a hotel, depending on how big you want to go. So that is basically the idea. And even you can also think of adding the recreational facility where kids can come play, adults can come relax, having pool and all those things. So this is just in the beginning of something. We are looking at how this is going to go, and eventually build upon it and see how well it's going to go here. So that is what we've been up to for this past few weeks. And before we took off with this, we've been doing a lot of planning, figuring out what it should look like, what to do, the side, the walkway, even the sidewalk, the grass, the flowers, among others. So aside the lawn, we'll also be having quite a number of flowers also planted. We've looked at some of the options. And then also some palms. There's been proposal for royal palm. There's foxtail palm, among others. So we'll also look at what will really, make this place stand out, and then we go in for that. So we still have quite a number of work to do here, but the whole idea is the grass is the main sort of like point of attraction here. Once that is up and growing, that will help us, be able to put the place to use. And I must say, we've been having some rain, so it's not really a bad timing, especially having the lawn or being done. So that is what we've been praying and hoping for. Eventually, grow quickly, and then the place becomes a bit lush, with greenery. So far, so good. That is what we've been doing this past few weeks. The Gabion wall, I must say, should or can be an alternative to the normal fence that we have. And the reason I'm saying this is because this is quite cheaper to do or to construct as against the fence wall. And the reason is because with this, you just buy the mesh, you form your gabion or the cages, and then you buy the boulders, the smaller size boulders. And the boulders, usually this size is a bit cheaper as against the chippings, because this is quite bigger. The chippings are gotten out of this. So then you can just basically arrange them. Now this also can serve as a temporary source of kind of fence, because if you need to take this apart, all you need to do is just take off the covers or the cage and then take off your rocks and you're good to go. So, and it's solid. It's pretty solid. It's very, very solid. You can't push this, because imagine the number of rocks you have in there. That is a lot of rocks, and it's very heavy. So maybe if people are thinking of having fence, then they can perhaps look at the gabion option. Of course, you can contract me if you intend to have a gabion wall or fence done. And also with the washroom that we are having done over there, we are considering perhaps using the rocks to build it, so that it also adds up to the beauty of the place. So far so good. This is what we've been doing for some few weeks now. I just decided to let you in so I get especially ideas for a car park. And if you've been running an event, and I'll be glad to get in touch with you, or to also learn a thing or two about that industry. And aside from that, also if you perhaps you're into rentals, maybe the canopies, the chairs, I'll be glad to learn a thing or two, especially what works and what does not work, what kind of tables or chairs to go in for. I must say I have a lot of things to learn in this space, because I've never done this. Just at a car wash, never run a car wash, but so far it's been good, because we get to learn every day, every now and then. So this is just about it for today's video. I'll just be on standby looking forward to all your comments, your questions, your feedback, your suggestions, and all that you have to say. I'll just be on standby to read all of them and then learn from them as well. So that'll be just about it for now. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.